Alrighty, how are we? Very good. Awesome. So, folks, phones down. Phones down. Focus. All right, hey, question. Raise your hand if you produce regular content for your blog, your social, email, etc., etc. Raise your hand nice and high. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5. So the rest of you do no content. Raise your hand if you do no content for your business whatsoever. Raise your hand. Okay, cool. All right. I asked the question because I slightly tailor this talk depending upon what the audience response is. So some audiences, like I did this talk about a month ago to a few hundred people, and like almost everybody raised their hand. They produced content. I'm like, oh my God, that's incredible. So let me get into some more advanced stuff anyway. So let's get into it. The title of today's talk is How to Create $1 Million per month in sales from a single piece of content. Raise your hand if you think that sounds like a load of BS. Yeah, be honest. Wow, this is a skeptical group. It's like, it's all good. I'll show you that it's true. In fact, I'll do it right now. Clicker doesn't work. It's all good. All right. So, a bit of background. I lived over in the US for a bunch of years, and we had a supplement company. And what you're seeing here is a screenshot from just 1 week of sales. And you'll see for 7 days we pulled in 600 grand. That was not a launch. That was a very standard week. We grew that company from $300,000 a month in sales to about $3 million a month in sales in about 6 months. Way too fast. And a good 1/3 of that revenue, i.e. $1 million every month for a good 2 years straight, came from this one article. Oops, something's happened there. Oops. Think we're good? Yep, we're good. All right. So a good $1 million a month in sales for 2 years, approximately, came from this one article. So we're going to keep going back to this article during the talk today. Talk about how we made it so successful, how did we amplify it, etc., etc., etc. But before we get to that, I want to get something across to you that is really important, and that is, if you know what to say and how to say it, you can literally get anybody to do anything. And so on the screen here, who have we got? Call them out, we all know them. Warren Buffett, and the other guy? Okay, cool. Why am I showing you these two guys? Because, as Steve mentioned, a whole bunch of years ago, I sent Warren Buffett a letter, and in response, he came back with this reply and invited me to be his guest at Berkshire's AGM. Now, that's like at the time, I think he was the second or third richest man in the world, right? So, no mean feat to get the cut through and get the invite, right? Again, if you know what to say and how to say it, you can accomplish anything. What you see here is my sister's Facebook feed. So at this time, she had a Volkswagen SUV, and she was having some problems with the brakes, and Volkswagen were giving her the runaround for about 6 weeks. And I got wind of it and thought, 6 weeks, hang on, you got 2 young kids, a bit concerned here. So I stepped in and wrote what you see on this screen here. We posted it to her feed, tagged a few of her friends and family and so forth, just to get some traction with it. After 6 weeks of runaround, within 24 hours, the GM of Volkswagen Australia was on the phone, apologising, and said to her, we're not going to just fix the problem, we're going to give you a brand new car, which they did. And then he asked, please, if you've ever got a problem again, just call me. Don't do this. Because he admitted he was so stressed that the German head office got wind of this, called him, came down on him like a ton of bricks, and that's why he was so motivated to get this thing solved. Again, if you know what to say and how to say it, you can get people to do anything. So, another example, this is one of our clients. Who's heard of Uno Home Loans? Raise your hand. Anyone? Yep, cool. That's who they are, and you can see Westpac's invested $25 million in them. We've done a lot of content for home loans, but one of the pieces that we'll talk about today was particularly successful generated thousands and thousands of sales leads. Mate, as you can see there, this is a letter or an email, better yet, from the head of content to me. Give me an update on one of those articles. You can see it had to be turned off during the Christmas break. So it was very, very successful. This is the headline of that article. We'll talk more about it in a bit. I'll show you the ads that we ran to get traffic to this article and so forth. But again, if you know what to say and how to say it, literally anything's possible, even in a super competitive industry like that. So I want to introduce to you a concept called content hacking. So earlier today I was at the back of the room talking to one of the other guys, and he said to me, so what are you talking about today? I said, we're talking about content. He goes, oh, content marketing. I said, no, not content hacking. There's a difference. Content marketing, who does not know what that is? Raise your hand. Does anybody not know what that is? Okay. Content marketing is the activity of producing content for your blog, content for your LinkedIn, your Facebook, and so forth, in the interest of generating leads, sales, inquiries. What's the one problem to content marketing? What's the one downside? Takes a lot of time. That's the answer I get every single time. That is its problem. Content hacking, on the other hand, is something else. Now, I did not invent this term. There are some other people out there talking about it, but they're doing a very sucky job. I think my commentary on the subject is infinitely better because I've got a framework that we actually deploy in our clients' businesses. I have a content hacking agency. It's called Fubi, and we produce approximately about 1 million words per month, every month for our clients. It's the equivalent of about 50 books a month. We also do something like 1,000 videos a month for clients, and everything that we do is through this lens that you're about to see. So what is content hacking? It has 3 components, actually. At the end of the talk, you'll also be offered a complimentary copy of the book. I'm showing you the book now because I go much deeper in the book about what we're about to talk about in the next 45 minutes or so, okay? So content hacking has 3 components. Not surprisingly, the first component is great content. Not just good content, great content. You're going to hear me repeat that time and time and time again over the next 45 minutes. You can't just do good content. Not anymore. Yeah? So that's component number 1 of content hacking. Number 2, funnels. Who does not know what a funnel is? Raise your hand if you don't know. Yep. Anyone else don't know what a funnel is? Okay. Well, I'll explain what a funnel is in a bit. That's part 2 of content hacking. Critically important. You produce content. At the end of the content, say an article, for example, there's a soft call to action to some sort of a funnel. Okay? Very important. And third, amplification. 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, you could produce content without amplifying it. Now, what do I mean by amplifying? Facebook ads, SEO, email broadcasts, cold email, something where you do not wait passively for the content to get some traction. You give it a big fat nudge, okay? In my mind, it is truly pointless to just produce content, stick it on your blog, stick it on Facebook and hope. Take forever. But you can massively expedite the outcome by applying the content hacking process. Great content that sends traffic through to a funnel that is then amplified. And you're going to see so many examples through here of client after client where deploying this framework, they're getting just, not just amazing results, but fast results as well. So when you combine all 3 of these together, you literally get a knockout punch. Now, what I'm going to do is just spend a moment and just bring everybody on the same page. Now, I don't have any content hacking stats for obvious reasons, that it's a very new thing, but content marketing, still there's some interesting stats on content marketing and its importance. So those of you in this room who don't do any content at all, I think you're nuts. In this day and age, and especially the future, because attention's getting harder to get a hold of, without doing any content, you are absolutely 100% costing yourselves money. No doubt. I have no idea how much, depends on the size of your business, but to not do any content for your business is a huge loss. So according to Demand Metric, content marketing costs 62% less than traditional marketing and generates about 3 times as many leads. According to Aberdeen, conversion rates are nearly 6 times higher for content marketing adopters than non-adopters. So Steve asked me before, hey, what are you doing with your book? He had a physical copy of my book before. I said, two goals with the book. One of the goals, I won't give you the other one for now, one of the goals is to compress our sales cycle. So when companies inquire about working with us, one of the steps that we have in our process is if they're of a decent enough quality, we send them a copy of the book. And what happens when they start to engage with the book and read some of that content, the sales cycle compresses. Big time. Big time. So much easier to make the sale. That's what that's about. Okay? According to HubSpot, companies that publish 16 plus blog posts per month get almost 3.5 times more traffic than companies that do 0. Our LinkedIn. So we do a lot of content on LinkedIn. I don't even know how many views per month we get now. I don't even know. Within months of just starting it for our company, we're getting tens of thousands of video views on LinkedIn. Within a few months. Now, I don't even know. One of our videos just the other day is up to around 20,000 views in like 2 or 3 weeks. Point is, if you know what you're doing, content is just such an easy way to get leads, to get inquiries, to get attention. It truly is. That's what this is about. Again, according to HubSpot, B2C companies that blogged 11 times per month, that's a lot, got more than 4.5 times as many leads as those that blog only 4 to 5 times a month. Now, 11 times a month, that's a lot by any reasonable standard. So like with our agency, for example, when we work on behalf of clients, we're able to get approximately 20 to 30 related content pieces from an article. So if we do a 1,500 word article, we're able to get 10 to 20 quote cards. We're able to get 3 to 4 email broadcasts. We're able to get 3 to 4 videos out of it, etc., etc. This is how you start to get smart with your content. Okay, so I mean, even I don't do 11 blog posts a month, and I've got a whole team. So I think that's probably unnecessary. But the point is, the more you do of it, you tend to get more leads and more traffic. You tend to get more. Okay. And according to Demand Gen Report, this is interesting, this one. This, for me, out of all of them, is the most interesting. About half of buyers viewed 3 to 5 pieces of content before engaging with the sales rep. And traditional advertising methods no longer work as well as they used to. Now, raise your hand if, those of you that have been in business for a while, raise your hand if you've actually found that to be true. Traditional advertising methods, no, look at that, I haven't even finished the sentence yet and hands are going up. Raise your hand, who agrees with that? Who's experienced that in your own business? Yeah, okay. That's absolutely true. So I've been at this game for near on 2 decades, and I've seen the changing landscape of media, and traditional methods absolutely do not work as well as they used to. They still work, that's true, but it's a tougher game. I'll go back a step. So, but what I want to show you here is 47% of buyers viewed 3 to 5 pieces of content. So in our case, if we get an inquiry come through, one of the questions we ask is, have you checked out any of our content? Nope. I was referred to you. Right? Beautiful. We love referrals, but hold on a sec. Let me send you the book. Here's the LinkedIn profile. Go check out some videos. Go and engage with the content. Go do that first, and you might decide for yourself that we don't have the particular service package or skill set for your situation now. That's okay. Totally fine. And we will proactively get the content in front of companies that have not seen our content. We do that intentionally, okay? All right, so I'm going to reveal a big part of our process here today, because like I said, we do roughly 1 million words a month in content. We are extraordinarily proactive. We're extraordinarily organized. Most companies, when they do their own content, they're just slapping it together at the last minute. It's knee-jerky, it's disorganized, it's stressful. We've got none of that going on with any of our clients. I'm going to show you how we go about that today. So the vast majority of the talk today is going to focus on the content component. I found that is what most companies tend to struggle with, what ideas to come up with, how to craft great content, and so forth. So let's talk about that. I said earlier that you can't just do good content. You can't do it. 10 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, you could get away with it. Now you need great content. Let's repeat that. Now you need great content. But what the heck is great content? And how do you do it? First, and this is where, who's heard Scott Bywater speak before on this stage? Oh, just one of you. Okay, cool. He's a fellow copywriter. He would have gone to town on this one particular point. To do great content, you absolutely need to know your audience's worries, questions, issues, desires, and priorities. Now, when I say you need to know them, I don't mean peripherally. I don't mean on a surface level. You need to know them better than your audience knows themselves. Now, you might think that's hyperbole. I'm exaggerating. I'm not at all. You need to know your audience's buying motives and issues and worries and frustrations better than they do. Raise your hand if any one of you in this room know your audience's worries, fears, frustrations, desires better than they do. One person. I'm going to bet you're a master salesperson. Yeah. No, that's all just with your clients, that's all that matters. Yeah. So he's a master salesperson. Wow, I'm so surprised. That's the key. To master salesmanship, great content. The key is to know your audience better than they do. How do you do this? Now, I could show you a whole bunch of different hacks and tools and so on and so forth, and you guys would absolutely start to phase out like my mate back there who's yawning. But I'm going to show you the two best techniques that I found in 20 years of doing this, okay? The two most practical and useful techniques for literally reading the mind of your audience. Is that cool? Yes? All right. First up, superstar salespeople. Now, apart from this gentleman just here who is his own superstar salesman, raise your hand if you have on your team a superstar salesman. Any of you have raise your hand. One there, two there. The rest of you aren't good sellers yourself and don't have good salespeople? Superstar I'm talking about. Okay, cool. First thing, superstar is like I'm a superstar salesperson. Like, I know this. I just know, right? So, you know if, you're reading the mind of your audience, you're preempting objections, sales are happening literally at your own will when the qualification's there. You know. Yeah, you know. Okay. So, why they're so important is really simple. The only way you can be a superstar salesman is by truly understanding your audience's fears, worries, concerns, objections, and so forth. So those of you that are great at sales or have team members that are great at sales, this is incredible market insight. This is incredible research. All of the tools and all of the hacks that I could have shown you using SEMrush or Ahrefs or BuzzSumo, which we'll talk about in a sec, all these tools and technology that you can pay for, all of that comes out of people's brains ultimately. Whether they search in Google, most often Google in fact, comes out of that. So if you are speaking to your audience day in, day out, or you have a superstar salesperson that consistently closes more than anybody else, that market insight is off the charts and it's free. So what you do is really simple. Create a dialogue between your superstar salesman and your content team. Keep an open loop there. Any changing trends that take place, it's your superstar salesman that's going to see it first. Before it gets picked up in any tools that you may subscribe to. All those are lagging indicators. That is the most leading indicator. Invaluable. So, we'll talk about this more in a sec. Yes, we will. Uno Home Loans, the company I mentioned before, how we came up with that article that crushed it for them, I just asked their team one question. What are your sales guys hearing on the phone calls? I don't know, let's find out. They went and researched and spoke to their salespeople, including their top guy, and universally we got the same response. How do we maximize borrowing power? It was like the clearest answer. I said, beautiful, that goes in the headline. That's how we decided that. It came out of that. Okay? So there's technique number one. It's an old school method, but it's invaluable. Technique number two, now we'll use some tech. Who has seen and or heard of this software before? Raise your hand. 1, 2, okay, 3, okay. So BuzzSumo is an incredible software. Out of everything that you could pay to subscribe to, as it relates to creating great content, this is the bee's knees. So what it will do is you can put in any keyword. You put in any keyword that you want into its search bar, and it will spit back the most viral content for that keyword. So in this case, you see in heavy bolded blue is the word wine. You'll see wine pop up in all one of those. That's the keyword search term for this screen. What that means is, for the term wine in the last 12 months, the most viral topic with 1.1 million shares on Facebook was that one at the top. New research says drinking wine is more important than exercise for living past 90. Yeah, you love wine, huh? Yeah, my wife took that one to heart too. Yes, for sure. So now that's pretty valuable, right? Like, to know that is the most viral topic on the subject of wine. So if you own a winery, or if you have a liquor store, or if you're a health educator of some sort, diet plans, you could do something with that, okay? So this is what BuzzSumo does in part. Now, many content creators will use BuzzSumo a certain way. And what they'll normally do is they'll look at the top post and say, well, if that's the most viral topic, then what we need to do is come up with a better version of that topic. So let's swipe that idea, make the content longer, add more images, do a deeper dive, and then that should be all we need to do. And that's not a bad idea. It's called the skyscraper method. It's an old school SEO technique, okay? Not bad. Far from optimal. Much, much better way to do this stuff, which is what I'm going to show you now. I've never seen anybody else ever talk about this. Someone else maybe, but as far as I know, we're the ones that invented how to use BuzzSumo in this way, as far as I know. And this is how you get very organized with your content marketing plan, your calendar. You do it this way. So what we do is we'll look at these topics and we ask ourselves a question. If we had to put these most viral topics into a category, into a theme, what theme jumps out to us? Longevity, aging, yeah. I would call it something like the health benefits of wine, okay? This will make more sense as we get into it. We've got more examples coming up. So there's the old saying, give a man a fish, feed him for a day, teach him how to fish, and feed him for life. That is what the content theme is about. So we could swipe these ideas like most companies do, like the top one, do our longer, better version of it, or we can think intent. We're going to ask ourselves, well, the top 5 most viral topics on the subject wine is about health. Therefore, the intent, this is the key. The intent behind the search is about the health benefits of wine. If you can gauge customer intent, now you can start to produce content that truly hits the hot button. You can understand and anticipate trends. You can anticipate what they're going to be asking for because you're localizing intent. So that's an easy one. Let's find a harder one. Well, not a harder one, just do another example. Same thing again. This time it's red wine. Again, most companies would say, oh, there's a vegan creamy polenta recipe. Let's do our own version of the same recipe. Yeah, whatever. It's a better way to do it. What categories, themes pop out here? Food, recipes. That's what I see. Red wine recipes would be the theme that we will create. And I'll show you in a second, I'll show you actual client files of how we actually use this knowledge to create the content plan, okay? So, red wine recipes, there's one. What's another one? What was that? I don't see that as a theme. I do see only one other theme, and it's related to the last slide. I see red wine health benefits. I see the second one from the top. I see that. Now, this one here, Apothic launches cold brew red wine. That looks like a PR, a press release or some sort of announcement. I don't see a theme there. And I've got no idea what that last one's about. I just would write that one off. So I would get 2 themes out of this one. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, give me some themes. What pop out to you? Well, the keyword term is weight loss. So what are themes that pop out about weight loss? Easy weight loss, healthy lifestyle, sort of, no. Got it. There's one right there. That's huge. Write this down. The preeminent, number one, unbeatable way to get attention is get a celebrity into your headline. Nothing tops that. Absolutely nothing. You're going to see so many examples in a bit that have celebrities all over the place. It's intentional. So one theme would be celebrity weight loss stories. Absolutely. In our case, my research team would go out and research like crazy and come up with a whole bunch of different celebrities and their weight loss stories, and we would create headlines out of that. So if we had a client, for example, that's an educator of weight loss or has weight loss tips, we would absolutely be factoring in celebrity stories at some point in the mix. What's another theme that pops out there? Tips, yes. Weight loss tips. You can see that one, the second one from the top. We would absolutely have a weight loss tips theme that we would then go and create a whole bunch of topics on. And again, you'll see examples coming up. There's possibly a third one there. Possibly. I missed that. Oh, you saw it from a different viewpoint. That's interesting. Yeah, I saw possible. I saw weight loss studies. Fourth from the top. Now, having said that, to be fair, that could relate to weight loss tips. They're going to be related. In practice, if we were doing this for a client, we would break up weight loss tips and weight loss studies just so we can see what we find. We would break that down. Yeah, so we would, how we would do it, we would just do weight loss tips. And then the writers, as you'll see examples now, would come up with specific headlines that would factor in time-based. Yeah. You could say weight loss tips, quick weight loss tips or something, maybe. That could be interesting. Yeah, that's possible. I could see that. Yeah. Fast weight loss tips, perhaps. Yeah, maybe. All right, let's do one more. I think this is the last one. And then you'll see how it all comes together. All right, you guys are getting good at this. Categories, what do you see? If you had to create some themes, what do you got there? Celebrity weight loss, again. Alexi Reed, I think, is a celebrity. I think Sarah Lee Carney is in Monique's too. I don't even know who these people are. But the fact that names are in the headlines leads me to believe they are celebrities, all of them? Monique's, okay. Sounds like a rapper or something, yeah? It's a chick too. There you go. Oh, right, okay, cool. Anyway, celebrity weight loss stories. Again, no surprises that you've seen these as the most viral topics. I didn't game this. You could put almost any keyword. Literally, you're going to see floating to the top are going to be well-known people or well-known companies, time and time again. So celebrity weight loss stories. One other one pops out that we haven't spoken about yet. Taking action? No. Journey. Elaborate on that one. Journey. Okay, so you're talking about that one there, obviously. How we would define that would be human interest weight loss story. It's different from the celebrity. The celebrity is a genuine celebrity. The human interest is about people like us. So my team in that case would go out and research stories of third-party people that are just floating about the web of how they've lost weight. And we would find a way to integrate that into our client's content plan in some way. You get that? All right. Now, here's how it all comes together. Remember we spoke about being proactive and not knee-jerky with the content? Here's how we do it. So you'll see at the top there, This is an example from one of our clients, what we call a master file. It's Sam Cawthorn of the Speakers Institute. And you'll see one of the, go back a step, Sam and his team teach people how to become public speakers, have a successful speaking career, okay? I say that because the content theme number 1, inside analysis of famous speakers in history, that's something that's relevant to his audience. But you see what we did here? We identified the theme, just like we did a moment ago, right? And then the team came along and wrote all of those related to the theme. Brunk, in one hit. And then we have a second theme for Sam, all at the same time. Personal branding success stories. And then my team wrote brunk, all of those. And so when Sam first signed on as a client, we identified his themes, and about 4 business days after we identified the themes, he received a ping to go, hey Sam, we've come up with about 30 or 40 topics for you. Tell us which ones you want and don't want. And in one go, because we do 4 articles a month for Sam and probably another 100 related pieces per month, but in one go, he approved 8 months worth of content. See all the yeses and the client approved? Bang, bang, bang. And so my team, month on month, just worked through the list. See how organized that is? See how easy that is? There is no frantic, headless chook, crazy last-minute behavior at all. It's also proactive because we lay the correct foundation. Yeah, feel me? Yeah? All right. What else do we see in these topics? Let's go back. Big names. What are big names also called? We've mentioned the word a few times. Celebrities. Not accidental. Winston Churchill, Ronald Reagan, Abraham Lincoln, Nelson Mandela, Gandhi, Jessica Alba, Richard Branson, Elon Musk, all intentional. Why do we lead with celebrities again? I forgot. Call it out. Yeah, it's the number one way to get attention. Now, when I say celebrities, let me define this a bit more clearly. If you've got celebrities like this that are relevant to your industry, more power to you. It doesn't have to be people like that, though. So in my space, as a copywriter, there are celebrities in my space that you guys would never have heard of, right? To you guys, it's like just another person, right? One of those people, his name is Paris Lampropoulos. He's a very, very dear friend of mine, and in my opinion, probably the greatest living freelance copywriter that exists, right? And for decades, he has never revealed how he does what he does. And he would be paid over $1 million for a sales letter, right? That's how good he is. But recently, his cousin was diagnosed with cancer. And Taki, his name was Taki, but Paris wanted to raise some money for his cousin's treatment. And for the first time ever, he put together an info product, revealing much of his IP for the first time ever. Have a guess how much money he raised in a few weeks just from the copywriting community and just because he's a celebrity. I wish it wasn't millions, that'd be nice. About $250,000, just under $250,000, okay, in a couple of weeks. So what happened was, he just reached out to a few fellow copywriters with email lists of copywriters. And once word got out that for the first time ever, Paris was teaching like stuff, I was like, oh my God, we need to buy it. So he put together a little course for $297, all money going to his cousin's treatment. Not possible without his celebrity status. Impossible. Okay? So you could have in your industry celebrities that are not Michelle Obama, but are more like Paris Lampropoulos, that has almost as much power. Okay? Almost as much. So we have 5 ways that we get proof into a headline. As I've mentioned a few times now, the celebrity is number 1. King of the hill. What you strive to get into, you won't get into all of your content pieces, but as often as you can. Okay. Who is this guy? All right, what's he known for? His brain. Yes, he's known for many things, but the one I'm looking for is his brain, his genius, right? So, Again, we go back to, you can't just do good content. You need to do great content. I shit you not, excuse my language. You need great content. How the heck do you do great content? What does it mean to have great content? I'll tell you. It means integrating wisdom into your content. If you were to forget, apart from the celebrity thing, if you were to forget everything else I spoke to you about today and kept this one point, this will make all the difference to the results of your content. Get wisdom into your content. Okay, what the heck is wisdom now? So around, how old am I? I'm 44. So around 25 years ago, I was working my way through the Edward de Bono lateral thinking books. Okay, huge fan of that man's work. And I remember in one of his books, he defined wisdom. Very simple equation that to this day has stuck in my mind. And it's simply this: wisdom equals knowledge applied. Wisdom equals knowledge applied. So, see if you can guess where I'm going with this. Stories of what? Our own stories are an absolutely incredible fertile ground for great content. Why? Your story is your story. Your story is different. It's a one of a kind. It therefore means there's a boatload of novelty. What you want are your readers and your viewers and your listeners to hear and read and see stuff from you that they cannot get anywhere else. I am not kidding. They cannot get it anywhere else. Hard to do on every single content piece. I'll be the first to say it. But it's doable if you try. This is why, if you've been in business for a while and you're brilliant at what you do and you've got good success, you've got good case studies, you get great outcome for your clients, guess what? You have wisdom. You have deep wisdom. Share it. Tell stories of your experiences. Give your viewpoints. Share your paradigms. Share your values. Share your beliefs. Make it so that your audience can't get that from anywhere else. You do that, and now your content will absolutely start to get results. Not on its own, you need to do the other parts of content hacking that we'll get into. That's if you want to do it faster. You see, am I getting my point across here? Each of you have so much brilliance in your mind, so much uniqueness, so much novelty. You just need to get it out. That's a separate subject. You all have deep wells of knowledge. Let's play devil's advocate. Let's say you're 18 and you just decided to start your own company. Never done it before. You've got no knowledge, no experience, no nothing. What do? Get a mentor? How can you get wisdom into your content? What's Steve doing here right now with me on stage and Kate before on stage? Borrow credibility. Interview series. Yep. Very, very doable as well. But it opens up the door for you. Let's say Steve was interviewing me on this subject. I would obviously share most of the content, but it opens up the door for him to give his viewpoints on the subject and start to shape expertise in the mind of his audience about this subject too, even if he knew nothing about it. My halo, so to speak, would transfer to him on this subject. Yeah? So let's go through some examples. This is a content piece we did for a client that killed it, crushed it, murdered it, whatever term you want to use. Now that I've shown you some of the footprints, some of the ingredients of the meal, what do you see here? Why is this so successful? There's an obvious one. Celebrity. Yes. No mistake. There's the first thing. Now there's a second thing. One person has ever got this second part. There's a second reason why this killed it. This did so well. It's about Elon Musk, yes. But what is it? Secrets, that's close, but no, that's not it. What? Wisdom, no. No, we're not selling anything. Yeah, we've got the brand names. We've covered that part. There's the second part to this that, like I said, only one person's ever got it. It's a hard walk you through the thinking. Okay, it's all good. So when this we went through mentally when we arrived at this creative. What is Elon Musk known for? Call it out. Say it again. Tesla, SpaceX, technology, what was that? PayPal, yada, 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 okay? He's known for that. So we asked ourselves, what is it everyone's talking about? And they're talking about, what? Success as well, true. That's what everyone else is talking about. What can we talk about that no one else is talking about? That people want to know about, even if they don't realize it consciously. Well, hot damn, this guy must be able to sell. Let's face it, he's got huge workforce of people that love him. He's got like fanatical fans that follow him. He, got $300 million out of the Department of Energy. Sweetheart deal for Solar City. Apparently an unprecedented amount of money for them to loan to a company. The guy can clearly sell. No one's talking about how the guy can sell. They talk about how much of a sucky communicator he is on stage, how he stutters and he ums and he errs, but the guy can sell. So what we identified was, nobody's talking about this, but people unconsciously do want to know, how the heck does he sell? So that's why we came up with that headline. So we've got the celebrity combined with a desire that no one else is talking about, that we identified exists. Combine all that together and you get that. Does that make sense? So we had to first assess what is the landscape? What is the current perception of Elon Musk? What is the current view? What are they currently thinking about and talking about? What can we talk about that no one else is, that people want to hear? This is knowing the audience. You would never find this in any research tools though, no chance. This is knowing your audience, the value and the power of that. Okay, so this one's for Sam, Speakers Institute. What do we see? We are not creative at all. We just keep deploying the same stuff that works. What do you see here? Martin Luther King, what is he? Celebrity. So imagine you're a wannabe speaker or are a speaker wanting to hone your art, and this ad appears in your newsfeed on Facebook. Pretty hard to not pause for a moment. Martin Luther King and the fine folks at the Speakers Institute are analysing this incredible history-changing speech. How the heck did Martin Luther King change the course of history with one speech? I'd like to know that. If only I could accomplish a fraction of that. Wouldn't that be nice? So cool. And the engagement's pretty good. This was taken ages ago, so 108 reactions, 5 comments, 35 shares. This is how you get virality happening, folks. You do stuff like this. Because no one else is really talking about this. We couldn't find others doing this analysis. Now it may exist out there, but in terms of showing this creative to this audience on Facebook, you're not going to find it. First in. Shit tons of novelty. Boatloads. Share. And I don't even know where it's at now. I took this screenshot probably 6 months ago. One article, right? Are you enjoying this? Are we learning? Yes? Okay, good. All right, we're back to the White House again. Different president this time. Why am I showing you this? It's not because of Trump or his advisors. I'm showing you this because of the rug that's on the floor. So we have a client that's an interior designer. When he first came to us, he said, Alexi, I want your team to write interior design tip articles. I said, Larry, that's a good idea, but it's not a great idea. Let's dig a bit further. So 40 minutes into his discovery call, I go, Larry, what else have you done? Who have you worked with? Because, well, now that you ask, in the 80s, we designed and manufactured the rug in the Oval Office. So what? Tell me the story. So he proceeded to tell me this story about how we got the job, first up, and then this drama, the outgoing First Lady Nancy Reagan, incoming First Lady Barbara Bush. They hated it, apparently. Then he proceeded to email me newspaper clippings of the actual story. I'm like, oh my God. So I said, Larry, let me ask you a very simple question. How many interior designers can tell this story, you reckon? Because, well, probably not many. I said, this is great material for an article. Yeah? Writes itself. So I said, Larry, now that you've told me that, who else have you worked with? And I kid you not. Oh, low battery. Wonderful. I better fly through this. How much have I got left? Whatever, it's all good. Is that for the new MacBook Air or newer? We'll find out soon enough. Anyway, so here are his other clients. Vladimir Putin, Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey. The content writes itself. Yeah? All of you have these sort of, maybe not this level, these sort of narratives in your background. In my case, Warren Buffett. If you saw the letter that he sent me, save the day. Okay, super Steve. It was sent to me in 2003. What year are we in? 16 years. How many copywriters do you reckon have that? One. Me. Boatloads of novelty. Right? I've told that story so many times and people to this day still find it cool. I share it because I know it's different. You guys have the same thing. Again, maybe not Warren Buffett, but I promise you, until you do a real deep audit on your background, your team's background, and cherry pick these incredible, rich stories, you won't know what you got, but I promise you, you've got them. You have. Use them for the basis of your content. So here's another example of a celebrity in a headline. We wrote this article for one of our clients who is a management trainer, six-figure type, hundreds of thousands of bucks to get them into your company. Now, at the time, we were the only ones that did this, and a happy consequence of this particular article was it went straight to the number one on Google for Jeff Bezos letter to shareholders or something. Purely accidental, that part. But you can see, like, if I'm a Bezos fan, so I read this article when we wrote it. It was like, wow, great article. So we go back to this article here. Now, we don't have celebrities. What we did have at this time when this was running is nobody else was talking about this. We identified a market that wanted to know this, but nobody else was talking about it. So we ran with that. And that's in part why this was made so much money. Like I said, about 20, 25 million bucks, directly attributable to that. This article here, again, same deal on Facebook. To the audiences that we amplified this to, nobody else was talking about this. Thousands of sales leads came through. I go into much more depth about it in the book, and I'll give you a link at the end of the talk as well. So if you're enjoying this and you're learning, go through the book. It's broken up into clear chapters, so you can just dip into where you want to go. Okay? So in a nutshell, first thing, good content doesn't cut it. Great content does. Okay? How do you do great content? You know your audience, inside and out, back to front, upside down. Okay? And third, celebrities. You want to get celebrities into your content. You know what? And a fourth, share your wisdom. This is how you get uniqueness and novelty in your content. Share your wisdom. Promise you've all got it. Funnels. Okay, so what the heck is a funnel? So I think there was one lady here who raised their hand before, didn't know it was a funnel. So have you ever clicked on an ad and gone through to a page that only has like a headline and then give me your name and email, like it's called a squeeze page, landing page. That's the commencement of a funnel. Have you ever gone to, let me show you here. Have you ever gone to like a video sales letter or a long copy sales letter where you click on an ad, you go through this long scrolling pitch? Yeah, that's the commencement of a funnel. So in this example here, so people would read this article. At the end of the article, they click on a link to go through to a video sales letter. 45-minute video. This thing partly killed me to craft this thing, right? Ad through to article, article through to this video sales letter. And people that shut this video down, i.e. abandoned, will get the written version of it. Okay? That's one example of a funnel. video sales letters, long copy letters. In Uno Home Loans case, their funnel looked like this. So you've got the article. You'll see there's a call to action button right below the headline. You'll see there's another one buried into the article as well. Click on those and you end up at a quiz. That's another funnel that works very well with content. Now, there's a modern type of funnel that really has really kicked into gear the last few years. A retargeting funnel. Who does not know what retargeting is? Raise your hand. Don't know? Okay, cool. So you ever clicked on like an ad or visited a website and then for the next couple the ads popping up in your browser? That's retargeting. Yep. Okay. So this is a screenshot of one of our clients, and you'll see here, $1,000 spent, 20 grand in return. This is only a small fraction of his budget. Way bigger numbers than this, but this is just a good, relatively sober example. His funnel was different yet again. It was a retargeting funnel. So, you'll see the client up there. Got permission to mention all this. So on Facebook, we run ads first to this video where we call out to the market. So our client sells bunk beds amongst other things. If you haven't gleaned that, that's what they do. So add to this first video. People that watch at least 50% of this video get automatically put in their own little pool in the Facebook dashboard and then shown an ad for this next video. Go back a step, I forgot to mention something. In this first video, we're not selling anything. Just call out to the audience. It's audience building on Facebook. That's it, nothing else. But now that we've got an audience, we've identified people that are interested in bunk beds, have kids, then we retarget with something far more aggressive. 3 questions to ask before you buy a bunk from an online retailer. Now it's much more product specific. But you see what we've done here? The product specificity is only being shown to people that have their actions self-identified as interested in this, parents, kids, and so forth. Good message to market match. They say drop your cost per click on Facebook. The people that engage with this got shown a third and final video, a very hardcore pitch. Before buying a bunk from an online retailer, here's what you need to look out for. How many 5-star reviews have they got? Do they offer free insurance? Do they offer free shipping? So all the unique selling points of our particular clients. Taken collectively, that's a funnel. 10 years ago, you couldn't do this, at least not as accurately. But now this is a genuine funnel. Very powerful, especially on Facebook. Okay? This is how you start to get ROI from content. You start to do this sort of stuff. So instead of just producing the blog post or dumping the video onto YouTube or Facebook and then waiting, you start to do these sort of behaviors and you get ROI that is off the charts. And I promise you that $1,000 spent, 20,000 in return, that's nothing compared to the rest of his account. Way bigger numbers. You'd be stunned. In a nutshell, what you want, if you're going to create content, you want a call to action in your content. Some sort of call to action. It doesn't have to be an overt pitch. It could be as simple as, if you're interested in chatting more, send me a PM. Yeah? Could be a link to an offer for a book or a report or whatever it may be. Do something though. Okay. Amplification, part 3. So, part 1 is great content. Part 2 is send people through to a funnel. Part 3, do something with the content. Spend money. 10 years ago, no, you didn't have to do this as much. 5 years ago, yeah. But nowadays, on Facebook, for example, you go and publish a piece of content, like 1% of your audience sees it now. So in other words, you've got 1,000 fans. Facebook only shows roughly 10 people. It's nothing. So you've got to put all this effort into producing content to hope that Facebook, for example, shows 10 people. What's the point of that? This is where Facebook ads come in, truly, on Facebook. LinkedIn's sort of the same. LinkedIn's a bit of a different beast. Very clunky UI. Their ads suck, but their reach is better. But we don't amplify our content on LinkedIn. Currently, we've got a big enough traction on that to not do it. Facebook, though, is a whole different ballgame. Okay. So what do I mean by Facebook? What do I mean by amplification? Let me show you some different techniques. with our supplement company. This is one of many, many things that we were doing with the article. These were banner ads that would pop up on boatloads of different sites. We would pay for media, buy media. People would click on that banner. Go back a step. People would click on that banner, go through the article I've shown you a couple of times, then from the article through to the video sales letter. Okay, so we bought millions and millions of dollars of banner ad space. For Uno Home Loans, this was the ad that appeared on Facebook. Again, they just didn't publish the content and then wait. They ran Facebook ads through to the article through to the quiz. You start to see the same DNA here, right? The same footprints, time, and I could spend so much more time showing you examples. I've only got an hour, but it's the same thing every single time. In this case here, this is a screenshot of Uno's traffic stats from SEMrush, which I'm able to show because it's in SEMrush. SEO, this is their organic traffic. SEO is amplification. A lot harder nowadays than, say, 10 years ago, but it's still a bona fide way to amplify your content. Uno's case, we did a lot of blog content for them, admittedly. You can see where our efforts kicked in, pretty obvious, yeah? This is one of our clients, Tent World, have 14 or so offline retail stores and an incredible presence online. Now, we don't do all their content, admittedly, but look at those search positions. Look at the volume, the amount of traffic they get to their website. SEO is amplification if you know what you're doing. The amount of traffic there, I mean, 22, that second one there. So when I took this screenshot, 74,000 searches a month, number 2 position. So they're probably getting 35,000 visitors a month for camping. It's getting 22,000 for Tent World, 50, call it 80, 90,000 searches a month just from that little bit there. That's organic. Forget pay-per-click. Oh God, it's a whole different thing. What else is amplification? So this is called a super signature. Who's heard of that? Anybody? Nobody? Okay, cool. An American marketer named Dean Jackson first coined the term. So this is my mate James Shremko's footer at the bottom of his email broadcasts. So picture this. You've got an email that you broadcast to your list, all content, no pitching, all content. But then in the PS, you've now earned the right to do some pitching. Admittedly, soft pitching. In James's case, he's got a link to his Super Fast Business Live event that I spoke at recently. He's got a link to his book, a link to his coaching membership, and a link to his Silver Circle. This is amplification. So if you've got an email list and you're producing content, you've got captive eyeballs, heck, get it out to your email list. I've lost count the amount of clients that I say that to. They go, oh yeah, good idea. You kidding me or what? Come on. You spend all this money building your lists. Yes, you need to communicate to them. So this is an example of a client. Because we do all content, and because we do solid content, we do an email a day for him. 30 emails a month. And every single email at the bottom has a very soft call to action to speak to his team. Okay? Yes, an email a month is heaps. But I should get a testimonial from him. He will openly say that us doing his email content has transformed his business. We brought order to his email calendar because he's got a whole sales team there that need leads. But crafting the content, getting out the door every day, not easy to do if you're running a company. So we come along and do that for him. So this here is an example of something that's really working well right now. And we found this accidentally, okay? So it's one of our clients. This is their Facebook ad. Okay, so we wrote them some content, and when they first published the content, they weren't happy with the speed of the results, right? It just took too long. And it's just, as a pure Hail Mary, they decided to set up a Facebook lead ad to the blog post. Okay, so let me show you how it works. That's the ad that pops up in the feed. People click the Learn More button. Before they get to see the blog article, they first have to give these details. Most of that's pre-populated because it's on the Facebook platform. And once they click submit, just get redirected to the blog post. Here's what's really cool about this. They got, I can't give you all the numbers, I don't have permission, but they got about 100 leads like that, like literally days. 23 of those were super high quality. So 76 were wastage, So, you need to follow up. They do take time, they do take resources. But if we're talking about speed of results, the only thing that's faster than this is if you've got a big email list and you broadcast your list. That's the fastest. This is the second fastest. Create a Facebook lead ad for your blog post and see what happens. It's not a magic bullet. Damn, man, I tell you, can get incredible results. Yeah. Okay, so in a nutshell, amplification. You want to nudge your content. You want to amplify it. Facebook ads, banner ads, email broadcasts, Facebook lead ads, doesn't matter. SEO. Don't just produce the content and just wait. Do something with it. Okay? If you do that, you combine great content with funnels and you amplify it together, it truly is a knockout punch. This is how we get these results for clients and more so fast, by doing all three together. You can do one without the others, sure. It's just going to take so much longer. Yeah? 5, even 10 years ago, you could just drive ads straight to a funnel. Right? You can even do that now. It's just a lot harder. Yeah? You could do it. But if you overlay content into the mix and it's great content, well, Again, it's all in the book. Here's how you can get yourself a copy as a courtesy to Mr. Steve. Just go there and you get yourself a digital copy. And if any of you need any help or have any questions, that is my personal email. If you feel you might be predisposed to us helping you with your content, when you download the book, in the early part of the book, there's a scorecard called the Content Hacking Scorecard. And fill it out, takes like 5 minutes. And you'll see quickly if you guys are ready for a company like ours to take care of your content. You'll need to hit a certain score level. If you hit that score or beyond, and you don't have the time to do it yourself, feel free to email me direct and we can have a chat and we'll see if it's a fit both ways. Done.